Welcome back to Missouri River Bottom for episode 16. I'm BP and it's March. Last episode we sold our crops and fertilized the mega field with anhydrous ammonia. This episode we mow the grass and plant our fields. Well guys, spring is here and we have new lambs. So our black Welsh mountain sheep all gave birth last month in February. So we have 100 new baby lambs, which is very exciting. So wait for them to grow up and start providing us wool. The original set of lambs we got, the Steinschaft, are up to 6 months old. And they're going to be hitting puberty soon, but they're getting bigger every day too. So lots of fun having animals on the farm. We skipped over February. There wasn't much to do. The weather wasn't very good, and there weren't any contracts. I'm not sure if that has to do with the update to 1.8 or if they just weren't generating, but didn't have any contracts for February, so I sold some lime. I took our wood production, our sawmill production, the beams, long beams, and planks to the bale sales and sold them there, and pretty much just kept things moving. The cows did require a lot more food. Ended up giving them about 400,000 liters of grass from our fermenting silo to keep them fed. And then we reached capacity with our wool, so I had to put in a pallet storage shed. So we added this in off camera as well. In doing so, I did change out the lights around the silo to something that put out a little bit more light and a little bit more, had a bigger spread of light as well. So a little easier to use at night, but we're up to 24 pallets of wool, and they are going to be best in May. So we may be looking at those next month or even in May thereafter. So things are moving along well. Let's get this pallet back in the trigger point so it can keep filling. And we're pretty good to go. With the cows requiring more food, we did give them all of the grass we had in reserve. So the meadow grass in their pen should start growing this month and be back next month, but we don't have any grass in reserve. So in looking at the barn, we have the meadow is back, 124,250 liters of meadow grass. That is great. They also have 151,000 liters of grass left over. So they went through about 250 to 300,000 liters of grass over the winter when the meadow grass wasn't growing. So we are going to stay on top of our grass field and keep mowing it and storing it just in case, because they're going to continue to eat more as they grow, and eventually they will reproduce. And we're going to need more grass or hay or silage or whatever we're going to feed them to get through the winter. So with that in mind, our grass field should be fully grown with the maximum yield bonus now. So we can go cut that, which is where we'll start this episode. Just get connected up to our Samaz mowers. And after we do that, we got a couple of projects to get ready for planting tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to put the corn in the ground. We have a couple more months for the soybeans, and as we talked about previously, we're hopeful that that canola in field 22 that we bought last episode is ready to harvest in July, so we can plow both 22 and 24 together and have an even bigger field for our soybean crop for the year. So let's head over to the grass field. We should be good to go here. Even if not, I want to get it mowed and start getting it into the silo. Start unfolding our mowers. Pop on out. Do we have a mowing course saved in here? I think we do. So let's see. Mowing, field 23, sure seems like it. So let's clear the current course. Let's load that course in. Good to go there. We want to start at the first waypoint. Go ahead and send it off and just make sure that we're all squared away. Yeah, we look to be in good shape. So while the Deutz handles the mowing, we'll head back and grab the TLX because we're going to head back to the shop. We looked at the new Kinzie Blue Drive Planter mod that came out about a week ago when it came out, and heading into planting season, I think I want to give that a try. So we're going to grab our existing planters. I have to figure out where we're going to put the seed. Maybe we empty it and just store it in our new shed for the time being, and then run the planters down to the shop, sell them, pick up the new Kinzie Blue Drive Planters. We are going to have to buy the mulcher, I'm sorry, the roller that goes on the back of it. So there'll be a little bit to do there and get everything hooked up and good to go. So let's see. Jump into the TLX. Go ahead and get started. Head over and get our new tip deck trailer. It worked out so well last episode. I'm excited to... The Blue Drives, when we brought them over the last couple times to the farm, were difficult to get on our flat deck. So I'm excited to try them on the tip deck. Have a little bit easier time getting them on and off. We will load up here. And I'm debating if I even hook up the Fent. I might put the Fent on the Blue Drive and see if I can load the Fent and the Blue Drive, because I could just drive them both right back on at the shop, and we'll have to attach the rollers as well. So let's get staged on the road. Go ahead, drop the deck down in the back. Wheels are rolling up nicely. Perfect. So I'm not sure, because the Blue Drive, the Kinzie planter is very, very long. So I'm not sure if we go with the Fent on the front, if we'll be able to get everything on the trailer. We could always send the Fent down to the shop on its own, but it'd be nice to just take one vehicle and one trip down there. I guess, would the JCB be smaller? I don't think the JCB wheelbase is much smaller than the Fent, so we'll just take the Fent. So let's connect to the first planter. We'll have to get rid of the seed. Store it for now. We did have, well, I had a bit of a miscalculation on our seed production. I thought we'd be getting, 10 or 20,000 liters of seed out of our seed production. Turns out we got 133,000 or 134,000 liters of seed. So we have way more seed than we're ever going to need, but we are all set basically for the life of the farm. We might not be able to make that corner. Let's take a look. It actually looks clear. What are we hitting on here, guys? Must have just clipped it a little bit and bounced. So we will drop the seed over here. See if we can get some of it in the trigger. Let's see. There we go. And we still have a little bit more seed. Alright, so that's all done. Let's push that all into the trigger. Get all of that put away. Now, we weren't quite far enough over to be able to just push it all. So we'll have to slide all of it. It is funny that the pallets going into the trigger make a noise. I'm not sure what the sound effect is, but maybe it's them being stacked up. Last one. Alright, we are We're good to go. That's all the pallets. Okay. That last trip of wood products we took to the sell point was the end of our wood. So we have nothing else in our sawmill. So we are empty over there, and it is turned off until we cut down some more trees. Not sure when that'll happen or if that'll happen, but we're set and ready for it if we need it. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be real tough to get both of these on. I think the length is going to be just too long, but let's see. Man, it is going to be so close. Well, I think we can back up just about to there. Let's see if that will do it. Put out the wings just for fair measure. Lock it in, and let's see what happens when we lift. Yeah, we didn't get the blue drive wheels on, so let's go ahead and put that down. Disconnect. Turn off the TLX. Pop out. Well, we tried doing it all in one trip. Now we'll see how good our backing skills are. See if we can get it on that trailer. Let's see. Get squared up over here. Slow and steady wins the race, right? Let's get zoomed in a little bit. Almost squared up. I think the problem is the wheels are actually on this planter are actually wider than the ramp of the trailer. Alright, so get that squared up. I think that's going to be about it, because we're not going to get it much further. So let's see. I don't want those wheels to go off the extensions at the top. Alright, let's see if that'll do her. If that is good to go, then we will send the Fendt on its way. Let's see, are we going to be able to get lift out of this? Oh, I think we got it. Alright, so let's send the Fendt. Well, I guess we could leave the Fendt here and just have the shop load the new one. Well, that's the problem. Oh, I guess we'll put the box up top and we'll put them on back here because the roller comes in a box separately. So leave that here. Let's go grab truck and trailer. We got some kind of crazy mounting going on. Maybe we'll give it a quick reset. Yeah, that seems to work better. So all right, let's take a drive down to the shop. So once we get the grass up for this episode, that'll be pretty much it for March. We'll check the lambs and the sheep and the cows just to see, you know, what's going on with them. We may only get one of the planters purchased today. We can do another one tomorrow, or I can even do it between episodes or between months. But as I said, I just want to have that grass on hand for the cows. I'm glad their meadow grass started coming in so they have something to eat, because we were not prepared over the winter. We were lucky that we had some spare grass in the silo. Otherwise, we would have been buying, you know, grass or hay or silage for them, which would have been, you know, not ideal. So we are in good shape now for the rest of the year, but we got to be prepared for next winter. So once we get down to the shop, we'll get these swapped out. We'll get the new one loaded up with the invisible roller attachment mod, which is, I'm excited to see how that works. I am wondering how that will work with hired workers, Courseplay, and AI, but we'll figure that out as we go. We also can check the sale while we're down at the shop. and I'm interested to see if there is a contract that is worth picking up this month, or if we even have contracts. 'Cause like I said, you know, for the month of February, we had no contracts, couldn't generate any contracts, had nothing to do. So don't know if that was just the time of year and there wasn't anything available, or if, you know, we're having a conflict with the most recent 1.8 update. So we'll take a look at all that stuff and figure it out as we go. And it should be a pretty smooth transition right into April, and we will get the corn planted. And if you remember last time we planted the corn, we did one set of headlands with bolt tractors, and we ended up, I think it was the Fendt ended up in the drainage ditch there at the end. So we're going to have to change our course on the mega field a little bit, make some updates. So we will go from there. So let's see. Go ahead and get this detached. You know, let's reattach it. Let's flip around to be pointing nose out, so when we get loaded up, we're square and ready. I think parking it right about here ought to be good. So detach the straps. Let's get the ramps down, or get the tilt deck down. We'll jump out. We'll go talk to the guys at the shop and sell this one and pick up the we'll call it the New Year's version of the old model. So I'll see you guys in just a minute with the new setup. Well, guys, the shop was a little bit busy, but they lent me their shop tractor to help load stuff up, so we're gonna try to see what we can do here. Got a nice setup. It's a 4-wheel steer, so we can actually drive forward and still steer and aim the Kinzie where we want it to go. So let's see if we can get it up and on. That doesn't seem like it went up. Let's see if we get squared up a little better. Got one side. Let's see if we can get the other. Almost like the TLX is not all the way down. Let's go check and see if we can get this a little bit flatter. Alright, that is all the way down. That should do it. Let's see. There it is. I think it may have just been just a little bit off angle there. Alright. I think we're going to leave that attached and get the deck squared up. And then we'll detach it. It may pull the JCB up just a little bit. Yep, that's alright. We'd rather have it not fall off the end before the wheels get there, so run down here. Let's detach. Oh, I think the JCB got strapped to the TLX. Classic farm sim straps. Alright, so here we go. Yeah, we're all set here, so let's park this guy over at the shop. Appreciate them letting us use it. That way we don't have to keep sending vehicles back and forth. Got a little bit of hardware here for installing the rollers. See if we can't slide that onto the top deck real quick. And then we bought both Kinzie planters this trip. We want to make sure they matched. We'll have to come back down and get the other one another time. So straps on, and those are some good looking planters. So excited to have those. And I also took the opportunity to set them up with seed only. So unlike the previous version, we had that little problem with course play. in getting them to plant without liquid fertilizer in them, which I do think we found the solution for. It's a course place setting, and I just had to go in and adjust it, and I did that, but we haven't planted since then. But these planters, despite having the fertilizer tank, are right now only set up to draw seed, so there should be no confusion for the machines. Should be nice and easy and be able to run those. So we're going to take this back to the farm. I checked while we were making the purchase and talking to the guys at the store. The mower is done, so we'll take this guy back. We'll get him parked and set up with his roller equipment on the back. And then we will real quick pick up the grass, throw it in the fermenting silo, and head on to April. Once we get to April, we should be set to get the corn in the ground. We'll have to pull the seed out of the shed. Actually, maybe what we'll do is we'll just drop the seed from the other Kinzie on the farm, the old one, and put it right into this one. And then we can avoid having to put it in and out of the shed several times and just load it up and be ready to run it down in the morning. So I don't think it'll be a problem for our new planter to sit at the shop for a day while we go get set up and pick it up. So, yep, there he is. Our tractor should be coming into view here. That entire field is mowed and set. So we'll get back here and get to work. We're back at the farm. Hopped in the Fendt. Let's see about getting this planter off the trailer. It did set up our box of parts that we need to attach to the back for the roller over there. So grab our planter. So far so good. Take it out, get it straightened up, and let's see. I can't even see that box of parts at this angle, so let's jump out here and get squared up. Yeah, this planter looks really, really sharp with our tractor. Loving the new look. Okay, oh, backed up a little bit too far. So we attach that, and it is on there. Now, what's so interesting to me, if you guys look in the top left corner, there's only showing one implement on the back of the machine. So I'm going to unfold. Yeah, and I did. So I put the light on there. So it didn't unfold. That's the roller. So it's only showing as one implement, but I can hit switch to next tool, and it does indicate that it has the roller on there. So it's interesting. It's showing as one tool, but it is acting like there are two things attached back there. So that is really cool. So you can see the working width of our roller back behind. So we should be good to go there. That is a really, really good looking setup there, guys. I love when everything matches. That is great. So let's fold it back up. I am very interested to see how the AI workers handle this setup. It's from Julian S. and Riley S., I believe, modders, and they do a great job. So I don't have any doubt that it's going to work. Just sort of, it's almost like when you're a kid and you go to a magic show. No idea how it works, but it all works out in the end. So I'm sure they got it all figured out and did all the hard work for us. And I'm excited to go ahead and use this tomorrow. So let's get this parked in the shed. And we might just leave it on this side for today. Grab the other planter and see about getting it on the trailer today on our way back to the field to grab the grass. Let's see if we can do a better job of making the corner for this door. Probably don't need the lights on anymore, just wanted one of the lights on for showing off the new trailer, or the new planter. Okay, so let's jump out here. We should come over this way. And I know we said we were going to try to get the seed in directly into the other planter, but we'll just call it good enough here. So that actually wasn't bad. We got almost all of them in directly. I bet these three can, yep, just be pushed right over. Alright, so let's start backing this guy up. See if we can get him on the trailer. Got the other one first try here at the yard, so nothing but downhill from there, I'm sure. Nice and squared up to the trailer. Oh, it's working well. It's going right on. Let's get the wheels all the way up to the edge. Excellent. And I think just like we did at the shop, we're going to tip the trailer deck while it's still attached. Even if it lifts the tractor a little bit, that's okay. Yeah, see, I think it picked the hitch up off the trailer there, so that's not what we want. So we're going to have to jump out and back up just a little bit more. May have to drop it. Just don't want to go past the edge there. Let's try putting it down. May have to strap it and unstrap it when we go through the tipping process with the trailer. Alright, so we'll strap it, tip it. Alright, so that's great. We'll put the other box of parts over here for tomorrow for their roller. Strap that down again. See if we can't swing this trailer through. There we go. Nice. So I'll just send him down to the shop now, and he'll just be there in the morning when we need him. Alright. Let's hop into the Fendt. Let's grab our forage wagon. And let's go pick up some grass. And we can move on to April. Linked right up. There goes the TLX with the old Kinzie in the background there. Once we get up here, we'll send the Deutz back to the shop. Back to the shed. Grab this grass, and then, like I said, I think we'll check everything once real quick, and then head on up to April and try to get started on our planting. Alright, he is squared up and ready to go. We can throw him on a quick course here. We'll go round headlands just to keep him moving, and I will jump in and get the corners when he's done. That way we're just keeping everything rolling. While he's doing that, we'll send the Deutz back to the shed to get parked with our mowers. And we will rejoin you guys when we're done with this field. So, see you guys in just a minute. Let's swing down and get the corners that were missed. And then I brought the Deutz up with the manure spreader. And we'll set him to grab this field and fertilize it while we transition into April, so we have a full fertilization state. I don't think we'll need to lime this field. Oh, I didn't tell you guys, I did remove the tree down here, and now finally just swing through and make that corner. It's so much nicer without that tree there, so... This guy missed quite a bit of the corner. Make another pass to get it all. But yeah, I did remove that tree, and then we'll get the Deutz fired up and running on the fertilization. We'll check and see if there's any liming that needs to be done on this field. We can obviously do that while we plant in the other field if need be tomorrow in April. We'll want to keep this grass yield to a maximum so that we don't run into a problem this winter with the cows. So grab this little bit right here. And that is going to do it. So let's fold it up. We will send this guy to unload at the mixing silo. While he's doing that, let's get our HUD turned back on. Excellent. Oh, I guess I missed some more right here, but we'll get it next time. That's no big deal. You can leave grass on the field and pick it up at the next mowing. It doesn't hurt the growth or anything. So we'll loop through here. And again, I suspect we have a course saved for this. So let's see. Manure, field 23. We sure do. Field 23, load course. We want to make sure that that guy's set on the first waypoint. Away he goes. So we are 50% fertilized right now. No sign of needing lime. We're 100% with that manure going out. So that is excellent news. Now we have to get... Oh yeah, I suspect we have a trailer in the way in here, and the TLX is at the shop with the Kinzie. So we'll just back this guy out and park it manually or dump it manually. 487,000 liters of grass. That doesn't seem like enough to me. I feel like we got more than that last time. But I might just be misremembering. And it could be that we didn't get that final growth stage because maybe it was happening today. It definitely was not growing over winter. See if we can just catch the trigger here real quick. Maybe. I cut it a little hard there. Let's see. There we go. We were almost there. Excellent. Grass in the mixing silo, so we are good to go there. Let's go ahead and park that guy. Excellent. So I think that's a wrap for March. Got enough done, things we needed to. Our canola is still growing in field 22. We did progress to growth stage 5 this month, which is great news. So I will see you guys in April. Welcome to April, guys. It is a nice sunny day to get some planting done. We've got the first of our 2 new Kinzies hooked up to our Fendt tractor here and topped off with some seed. I did make a small addition on the farm between months. I didn't like having to go back to our production alleyway back there behind the shed to get the lime and the seeds and everything else. Getting the Kinzie planter back there was a bit of a challenge. So I dropped this in-ground storage silo right here next to our pallet shed to store our lime and our seeds so we could get access to it by our fields and have lots of room to turn around. So when you fill it up, you bring the cover up, and then you drop everything in the grate. And when you want to dispense your products out of the silo, you close it and drive over, and it triggers just like a normal silo. So a nice addition to the farm. Got some seed in there. We've got some lime in there. So we have all the things we need for our field work. We're going to leave the manure back at the manure pit because that's where the manure spreader is parked. But as far as the seeders and the lime go, it is up here. So let's head down to the shop and grab that other Kinzie planter. We sent the truck down there last episode, so we're all staged up at the shop. They're ready to unload us. We've got this Kinzie planter, so let's see if we can get this unloaded and then see about getting the other one loaded up, the new one, and head back to the farm and get planting on our corn. So getting it off the trailer never seems to be a problem. Getting it on the trailer with the wide wheels, these Kinzies, has been a bit of a challenge. The last one fought us a little bit. So we'll see if we can get it off with just the JCB tractor, or if we're going to need some of the guys at the shop to come help. So we'll pull this down into their yard. So these guys can go ahead and do what they want with it. Alright, drop that one there. Make sure it gets sold. And now, back into their JCB. Let's see about getting this guy loaded up. As we'll turn our beacons on since we have them. Let's see, did that get the beacons going? It did on the trailer. Alright, good enough. Get squared up here. And let's see if we have any luck today with the loading. Nope, missed a little bit on this side. I think it's just that the ramp is not as wide. We need the wings to come all the way down the ramp. Oh, I think that got it. Guys, look at that. Second try is the charm. Get it back all the way up to the top. Perfect. Let's leave it right there. Let's go ahead and detach. We're going to throw a strap on just while we're heading into the TLX. Put the rest of the straps on, get turned on. Let's get that tip deck brought up. And I think we are in good shape. So let's actually send the TLX back to the farm, and then we will go park the shop tractor up for them. Glad that went well. And then we'll get planted, and we'll get planting that corn in the mega field. So need to get that other Kinzie unloaded, get the roller attachment put on it. Probably should close their door for them. All right, we'll get the roller attachment put on, get it filled up with seed, and get it good to go. But while we're waiting on that, let's get the Fendt in the field and get it started. Now, if you remember last time we planted this field, we had some problems with course play because we had empty fertilizer tanks. And I did go in and change that setting in course play, but I want to go in and double check and make sure that it is doing what we want it to do now, because I'm not sure if it stays vehicle to vehicle or if it changes when we have a new planter. So let's just jump in here, head over to the settings, Sowing machine used fertilizer seed. It's still activated, so we'll deactivate that. That's the first step in making sure that we are good to go there. All right, so we're going to do, we have 2 machines, 2 headlands, no rounded corners. We want them nice and square. We do need to come in here and delete the last course we had. That's the one that only had 1 set of headlands, and we had the fent end up in the drainage ditch there. So we don't want that. We want to make sure, so double check, 2 tools, 2 headlands, no rounded corners. Take just a second to calculate that. I think with doing 4 total headlands, 2 for each tractor, we will end up in a better spot in regards to how this field gets planted. Won't miss as much, and we also will have plenty of room to work around the outside. We want him to start at the first waypoint. We want him to start on the left-hand course. We are going to go ahead and start job. We'll come back in here. We'll save this course as mega field. And 2x, because we want to make sure, remember, we have 2 machines working on this field. So we are good to go there. We are planting and rolling. That is cool. I do like the visual indicator for the roller hanging off the back. That's nice to see. So yeah, he is in good shape. The fent is off and working. Just make sure he's getting up to maximum speed. Then we'll jump over to the TLX, get that other Kinzie unloaded. I do have the Deutz up at the gas pump. I had it repaired and topped off with gas, so it is good to go there. I always want to start your big projects like planting big fields with a full tank of gas. It's always a pain to get out in the field and realize you have to go get fuel, either get a trailer and bring it out or drive all the way back, so try to avoid that. So we are square here. Let's get situated again. And we have this one loaded on nicely, so we should be in good shape. Love how those wheels slide up. That's such a cool animation. And then the deck tips. And we are good to go. Jump over here into the Deutz. Should be all fueled up for us. Yep. Ready to go. We'll pull the Kinzie off the trailer, attach the roller parts that are in that box over there on the side of the field. Then we'll head over to our new silo, top it off with seed. Should have about 75 or 80,000 liters of seed in that silo, so should be plenty to get going here. As I said last episode, we made a slight miscalculation on the seed production. I thought we were going to get 10 or 20,000 liters. We ended up with 134, I think it was. So definitely more than we needed. Maybe we're not quite square there. I feel like I can see that our tire tread is starting to wear. Just want to check that out real quick. I mean, that tread looks pretty small. And when we're in the tractor, does it give us the tread wear? No, it doesn't give us that in the tractor. We'll have to find it somewhere else, but I do feel like that tread wear mod is coming in handy. Maybe we'll have to look at replacing the tires here at some point. Let's get some seed in our planter. Catch that trigger. Feels like we should have hit it by now. Well, let's see what we can do to encourage it to find the trigger here. Had no problem filling up the other one, so I can't imagine this one will really be much of a problem. Should be much of a problem. Huh. That's definitely fighting us. Well, let's flip around and come through the other way. That's the way I got that one to load. And I was able to get the covers on the planter to open on their own, so I did not have to open them to get inside the trigger. The trigger got the covers off, so let's see if we swing in here. Let's go nice and slow. That is very, very weird. I wonder if the cover on the silo did not recognize as closed. All the way open. All the way closed. There it is. Oh, we just had it just for a second there. Fill it up with seed, 73,937 liters. We're going to go ahead and put it all in there. No reason to keep the seed anywhere else. We're already set to corn. Great, that worked out in the end. And we're off to the field. So we want to get this guy going before the Fendt makes its first full pass. So let's go ahead and get everything opened and ready to go. While that's getting set up, we'll jump into the menu. We want to clear the current course. We want to load the mega field course. We need to make sure it's set to start the first waypoint, and we want it on the right-hand side. So that should be good to go right there. Let's see. Where is it going to drop? Oh, right here. All right, the roller's working. It's planting corn. It's getting up to speed. Yeah, that is working really well, guys. I'm going to jump out here, and while they get their headlands done, I think we'll get the TLX parked, get the trailer off. Actually, you know what we should do before that? I wonder what the price for our wool is, because it could be... We're at $12.22 and coming down, so it is the best price for the wool right now. So, let's see about getting the wool loaded up. Not exactly sure where the trigger is, but we'll start right there and see where it gets us. Wool. Let's get that all unloaded. Wow. May have just nailed that. That worked out quite well. Let's get the rest of the wool and we'll head down to the shop. Should go check and see if we have any more pallets at the sheep pen. That's 30,000 liters of wool. We can certainly take a half pallet since it's the best price. Just toss that guy right here at the back in the middle. And let's send this guy to the bale sales checkpoint. That's where it was the best price, correct? Yeah, bale sales is where we want to go with that. So we'll send him on his way and check in on him when he gets down there. Maybe what we'll do is we'll jump into one of the tractors, see who's coming around, and throw this planting on a quick time lapse. And then at the end, we'll run down to the bale sales and get that wool sold. And that'll be about it for April. We've got good feed in our sheep pen. They've got lots of grass. The cows are growing quite a bit, but they are on meadow grass now. They've eaten about 8,000 liters so far today. We do have our very first Angus group of Angus calves that have grown. They've fully matured, and they are starting their reproduction cycle. So this group of limousines should be fully grown next month and starting their reproduction cycle. And then we are 10 months away from having calves, in which case we will be selling the full-grown animals once they have calves. So I'll throw this the corn planting on a quick time lapse. We'll finish this up, go sell the rest of the wool, and we'll call it an episode. So I'll see you guys in a little bit. Not a bad planting session, guys. Got corn in the mega field. The double outside headlands, the 4 passes worked really, really well. The new Kinzie planters performed as well as expected, so the corn is in the mega field. We have to go finish selling the wool real quick, so let's head over to the shop where the TLX should be waiting for us. And let's see what we get for our wool. 37,470, so not bad at all. So we upgraded our Kinzie planters. We mowed some grass to stock up for the winter for the cows this episode. We sold our wool. We planted the corn. Overall, a very productive episode. Got a lot done heading into summer. We'll have to manage that field 22 we picked up last episode with trying to get it harvested in July so we can get it plowed together with field 24 and then plant our soybeans all at once in July on one big field. But I think that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today. So thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to drop a like and turn on notifications for more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.